Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Jamie, the Crafty DIY Guy. Welcome back to my channel. Alright everyone, in today's video we are going to be doing some Winter Wonderland DIYs. This is actually my last DIY video for 2021 and I'm excited for 2022. I'm so looking forward to next year and being with you guys on this journey. These DIYs are kind of Winter Wonderland inspired. I don't know about you guys, but I personally do not like taking down all of my Christmas decorations right at the day after Christmas mark, you know? So when I start incorporating my winter decor, there's still some accents of red, there's still some accents of gold or metallics or something, and so that is my version of Winter Wonderland. Now, before we get into those projects, of course, I want to say thank you to all of you so much for being here. Everybody, all of my subscribers, you're all OGs now. Thank you so much. It has been an incredible few years on YouTube, and I'm so looking forward to bringing you amazing stuff in 2022. So again, thank you guys so much, and let's get started on that video. All right, everyone, and for my Winter Wonderland project number 1, I'm going to use 4 of these white picture frames that I picked up from Dollar Tree. They are 5x7 in size. Also, I'm using 2 of these candle holder metal houses that I picked up at Dollar Tree and some of these flocked Christmas trees. Also, I have some of these foam beads. It's important to use these versus the faux snow, and you'll see why in a second. Go ahead and take all of your frames apart. I will say that I wish that I would have found a frame that had a white backing instead of this brown kind of wood look. So when you're looking for frames, if you find some that are all white, that's going to be perfection. But don't worry, we are going to fix that. Go ahead and remove all of the guts of the frame, remove the glass, and then also remove these little tabs because you're not going to be using the tabs. You will be using the glass, however, so definitely save that. So now that we've got our 4 frames ready to go, we are going to go outside and we're going to paint this kind of brownish side. That way we have frames that are white on all sides because you are going to be able to see what we're doing with these. I'm just using my Rust-Oleum 2 times the coverage. I love this paint, and I am going to simply just spray paint this one side. I did 2 coats, and then I also did 2 coats on the metal houses that you see here and got those ready to go. Once everything was dry, I took it inside, and it was time to start assembling our thing. So the thing that we're doing is making it with these 4 frames. But before we put that thing together, we need to glue these frames back into place. So I'm going to use my fine tip glue gun from Sure Bonder, and I am just going to add a little bit of glue around on 4 sides and then just pop those glass pieces in. And I did do this with all 4 of those and made sure that they were nice and dried and solid. And then I did go back in after I added more, or after I added the glass, I went back in and then just added a little bit more glue just to make sure that those glass pieces did not pop out of those frames. That's very important because if the glass pops out, you're going to have a big mess on your hands. And then, of course, if you get any glue dots or anything on the glass, you can go ahead and just scrape that off. So now that our glass is in place, we are going to create our shadow box. That's the thing, or diorama shadow box. I'm going to call it a shadow box. To do that, I'm going to be using this super glue tape. This super glue tape is so good. It is very hard for me to find it at my Dollar Tree, but when I find it, I buy several packages of it because it is so good. What's also great about it for this particular project is that it is white. So it is kind of like double-sided tape. You will stick it down, you'll cut it down to the size you need, and then you will hold your items together. You hold them for about 30 seconds, and this is solid. This is not going anywhere. In fact, check this out. This is in real time. The footage is not sped up at all. You will see that after I've held that together, this is going to stand up on its end by itself, and it is pretty crazy. Now I am going to go ahead and just support it a little bit, and I'm going to put a candle on the back side of it just to help hold it together. And obviously I don't want to mess up my project. And then I'm going to add another strip of my super glue tape on the other side, and we are basically building a box that has 4 sides to it. So after the box was sturdy, I then took a piece of cardboard and just traced around my frame box that I created here. I'm going to use that cardboard as a base for my shadow box that I'm kind of making. The other thing that I did was take the sides of the cardboard and I painted it white, thinking that it would kind of help camouflage the roughness of that, but you'll end up seeing in the final picture of the DIY, I ended up covering the bottom of the box with the white leather ribbon the faux leather ribbon that you can get from Dollar Tree. Now, I poured 4 bags of my foam ball filler directly into my large measuring cup here, and then just poured it down inside of the shadow box. And then I took a set of these battery-operated string lights. These are the ones that kind of have the copper wiring. I wish I had the silver ones on hand, but I didn't, so I'm just kind of going with what I have. I still think it turned out really, really cool looking. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of straighten out the wiring just a little bit, just to make it a little more flexible, a little more easy to kind of deal with, I guess. And then I'm going to take that wiring and just simply start tucking it down underneath all of those snowballs. Now, I'm not too worried about the wiring and, whether it's all covered or not, because we are going to be kind of building a village within this kind of glass shadow box that we've created. And some of those light strings are actually going to help us with the finished product. So don't worry about it right away if the lights don't get nestled down. Now, because you are using those kind of oversized foam beads, your houses are going to get lost in the blizzard, and you want to make sure that they are standing tall in the blizzard. So I am adding little wood blocks onto the bottom of my houses, and I also did it on the bottom of my trees. Now I'm going to go ahead and just build my little village. And as you can see, when you see some of those wood stilts, we'll say, that we put on the bottom of the houses, don't worry about it once you've got your house positioned. Just kind of play around with those snowballs, and they will create little snow drifts all around the houses and all around the trees. And when you're all said and done, you've got the cutest little snowy village. This reminds me of a very cold winter night after a really heavy snowfall. I love the way this looks. It is super, super peaceful, and I think I'm going to keep this up at least until February, maybe even March, because in Atlanta, you never know how the weather's going to be. My next Winter Wonderland DIY is going to incorporate this Merry Christmas bucket that's kind of shaped like a sleigh. And I found this Crafter Square sleigh that I have not seen at any of my stores. I picked this up on my shopping trip or my business trip to Los Angeles. And it was the only one. It was meant for me to find it. And I am going to go ahead and just cut away this twine at the front. We're going to get rid of that and take everything outside and spray paint it. Now, our sled is really going to become the framework of our sleigh. So I'm going to be spray painting this kind of weathered steel colored spray paint from Rust-Oleum. I picked this up on Amazon. It is a great color. It is perfect for anything that you want to have a very weathered kind of metallic steel look. It is perfect for everything farmhouse as well. And then for the sleigh, I took some fine grit sandpaper and I just kind of lightly went over the entire plastic part of the sleigh, so the entire bucket essentially. And then I did 3 very light coats of my Rust-Oleum 2 times the coverage paint. And I did this just to make sure that I didn't get a lot of dripping from the white paint. Sometimes when you spray paint white, or if you spray paint plastic rather, and you're heavy-handed like I am, you get a lot of drip marks. And I didn't want any drip marks on this. So Now that everything is dry, I'm going to glue everything together. Now, I didn't spray paint the bottom of the sled, or the sleigh, I should say. So if you want to do it, go for it. I'm going to be gluing it down. You're not even going to see it. I'm using a ton of hot glue here. And what's really cool about the sled and this red bucket that is now white, that sled fits perfectly on the bottom of that bucket. It is so perfect. Now, I just filled my bucket with some floral foam that I had left over from a previous project. And then I am using a mixture of some red poinsettias that have some kind of gold and silver tips to them. And then also I am mixing in some of these pine stems that I picked up. These are floral picks from Dollar Tree. They come in a package of 6. I've been talking about these all season long. They are phenomenal, and they have this silver color to them that makes them look like they are frosted, like you've maybe been sitting out in the cold in the sleigh. You've got some ice on those kind of pine picks, and I created this really cute sleigh. Yes, it could be used for Christmas, but it also transitions super well into decor for winter. And also I added that buffalo check, or that gingham ribbon around the sleigh itself. And I just love the way this turned out. My next project is a recycled project. I have reused this particular grapevine wreath probably 5 times. And these are the Dollar Tree picks that I keep bragging about. And then this is a pick that I got from, I think I grabbed this at Hobby Lobby very early on to the season. And it's been through some things, as you can see. It's a little worn out looking. So the first thing I'm going to do is take these wonderful picks that are, once again, glistened with that little bit of silver, and I am going to just take these and just literally kind of stab them into this grapevine wreath. And because the wiring on these is so good, y'all, these are so good. And they also have them in gold and in silver, by the way. And look how vibrant the silver is. I mean, these are fantastic. I'm obsessed with these. I keep buying them, and then I keep using them. And I need to find some so I can stash them for next year, because I'm terrified that Dollar Tree is not going to have them. But because the wire that is in them is so good and so strong, you can literally just kind of stab them into your grapevine wreath and then bend them in whatever direction you need to go in. Now, I'm going to go about 3/4 of the way, all the way around my wreath, and just kind of, varying where these are going. Sometimes the grapevine wreath is a little tighter in some places than it is in others, so it's easier to, get those picks in there. But once I've got that completely covered, or at least 3/4 of the way covered, then I'm going to bring in the pick. Now, the pick, as you can see, has a very long stem, and it also has a very thick stem to it. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut that away with my lineman pliers. And then once I've cut that away, I am going to take some twine. I'm going to take the twine and just tie this onto my grapevine wreath. Again, I love doing this because then when I want to recycle this wreath for another time, I can very easily just remove everything, and I've got a great wreath, a great grapevine wreath that I can use for another project. So after everything was tied on, then I went through and just kind of filled in some more with these floral picks from Dollar Tree. Again, these come in silver and gold. They are so good. I think I found mine at the end of like an end cap, and they were connected to one of those strips that they hang on like the end of the end caps and stuff that has like little random pieces on it, and I'm just obsessed with them. For the pick that is on there with the red berries and the pine cones, because that is all wired, I am just kind of going through and shaping that. Once it is beautiful and set up, I've got it all ready to go. I took a very simple buffalo check ribbon and hung my wreath with that. And I love the way this turned out. I think, again, this is kind of that perfect combo of maybe Christmas has just ended and you're not really wanting to put away all of the Christmas decor just yet. You can get that little splash of red still, but you've got the green and the white and the, you know, the silver, which kind of leads to like snow and ice and winter and a wintry wonderland. All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know in the comments below which one was your favorite. I think the little shadow box I did with the houses was definitely my favorite one. And I like the sleigh a lot too. All right, guys, take care. Bye. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Mwah.